Cocaine Bear. Cocaine Bear was directed by Elizabeth Banks. It's a pretty low budget film for the most part. If I'm hearing correctly, it's strange because it feels like what it wants to be is a. It feels like it wants to be kind of like an exploitation B movie. That's clearly what it's going for, and that's clearly what it's attempting to emulate and replicate, and like those big like monster attack kind of things, those B movie matinee kind of weird films. And I think Elizabeth Banks definitely has that kind of weirdo charm to her and weirdo sensibility that she can actually pull this off. And I think the film, for the most part, works. It's got Kerry Russell, Eldon Eckhart, O'Shea Jackson, Ray Liotta's last film. Margot Martindale steps in there for a bit. Jesse Tyler Ferguson's in there. It's not a bad cast, and I think for the most part, everyone does a pretty fine job in it. The film itself is pretty simple and straightforward. It's got a very simple B movie premise, which is a bunch of drug dealers are dumping bags of cocaine across this forest, and then this guy's going to parachute down and then find it, get all the other guys, and they're going to get it out. But his parachute doesn't work, and then he crashes and dies, and now they've just lost it all. So a bear accidentally finds it and starts eating it, and then gets this weird cocaine superpower where it can just kind of sense where there is more cocaine out in this forest. And then while this group of kids, these two kids have decided to skip school and try and paint this waterfall in this park. And while doing that, they come across this bag of cocaine. They kind of dare each other to take it. They don't know how to, so they just like eat spoonfuls of it. And then the girl's mom finds out and tries to find them. And then there's like the worst park rangers you've ever seen who are there, who are not at all interested in trying to find these kids. All in the meanwhile, the detectives are on the look for all the drugs that are out in the forest, and the drug dealers are out trying to find the drugs. And that all is just kind of padding for the most part, because the film really doesn't know what you want, and that's just to see a coked up bear just go out and destroy people just with blood and guts and gore. That's really why people went to go watch the movie, and that's kind of what the movie delivers at. I'd say it's a horror comedy exploitation film in a way, is how I'd mainly describe it. And for a 2023 mainstream film that got a lot of internet notoriety, a lot of people were talking about it. It did pretty good numbers at the box office for an R-rated film. I'm impressed that they managed to make it as weird as it turned out being. Like, I'm impressed that this movie managed to garner the attention that it managed to garner. And I do think a lot of that is just because the title itself is just so slap in the face straightforward. Like, the title is just Cocaine Bear. You know exactly what the fuck kind of movie you're going to get with this title and this poster. So, I really can't be mad at any of the weird flaws that the movie has. I don't think it really drags at many points. I think it keeps the pace going well enough. It knows how to space out the bear attacks well enough that that it keeps you entertained throughout. It's like it doesn't just give you like a shit ton of bear and then like 30 minutes of nothing. I think it spaces everything out pretty well. Obviously, the characters aren't the most developed people in the world. The plot is pretty straightforward. You can kind of guess where everything is going to go and how it's going to go. But as I said, who really cares? You know what kind of movie you're going in for. And I had a really fun time with it. I'd say it's a 7 out of 10. Had a blast.